Imagine waking up one morning and your mother is simply gone. No note, no goodbye, no explanation. That's the reality Savannah Guthrie, one of the most recognized faces on American television, has been living through since early 2026. And the more investigators dig, the more confusing this story becomes. Today, we're going to tell you everything: who this family really is, what happened to Nancy Guthrie, and why this case has the entire country holding its breath.
Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
If you've ever turned on the Today Show, you know Savannah Guthrie. Warm smile, sharp mind, the kind of anchor who feels less like a TV personality and more like a friend sitting across from you at the kitchen table. But here's something most people don't know about her. She wasn't born in America. Savannah came into the world in Melbourne, Australia, where her father, Charles, a mining engineer, had been posted for work. The family lived down under for a few years before packing up and heading back to the States in 1973, when little Savannah was just 2 years old. She grew up in a tight-knit household with her mother, Nancy, older sister, Annie, and brother, Cameron. By every account, the Guthries were exactly the kind of family you'd want next door: warm, grounded, and fiercely loyal to one another. That loyalty, it would be tested very early on. In 1988, when Savannah was a teenager, tragedy struck without warning. Her father, Charles, suffered a fatal heart attack. He was gone, just like that. Years later, Savannah opened up about that night on Hoda Kotb's Making Space podcast, and the details she shared will stay with you.
And I'm really proud of him.
She came home from an evening out to find all the lights blazing, her mother and sister Annie sitting on the sofa with their heads bowed, and she just knew. "I could feel it," she said. "There was like an electricity in the air." Her mother crossed the room toward her, and the words came fast: "Dad died." Savannah has been honest that she's never fully recovered from that loss. "I don't think you ever get over your grief," she told the podcast. And honestly, most people who've lost a parent young know exactly what she means. But here's what's remarkable. That loss didn't break the Guthries. If anything, it bound them tighter together. Nancy Guthrie, suddenly a widow with 3 kids, made a pivotal decision. She got back to work. Over the years, she found her footing. First at a business publication, then at the University of Arizona's Public Affairs Department. She was, by all accounts, the kind of woman you remembered long after meeting her. Colleagues described her as sharp, gracious, and quick to hold others to a high standard. Her children followed her example of perseverance. Cameron, the quieter of the 3 siblings, spent 26 years flying F-16s for the Air National Guard. When he took his final flight in 2018, Savannah put the whole thing on Instagram. "He is the pride of our family," she wrote.
And I'm really proud of him.
Sister Annie chose a more literary path. She graduated with a poetry degree, published a collection called The Good Dark, and now teaches creative writing at the University of Arizona. Savannah has described Annie in terms most of us reserve for a lifeline. "She's like the blood going through my veins." As for Savannah herself, she went from a tiny Montana newsroom to the anchor desk at one of the biggest morning shows in the country. She married political strategist Michael Feldman in 2014, and together they have 2 children, daughter Vale and son Charlie, named for the father they lost too soon. By 2026, the Guthrie family looked like a portrait of resilience, a mother who rebuilt, children who thrived, a story with a happy ending. And then Nancy disappeared. In early 2026, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie vanished from her home in Tucson, Arizona. There was no dramatic scene, no signs of struggle. She was simply not there.
We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
The night before she went missing, Nancy had shared a meal with her daughter Annie and Annie's husband, Tommaso Cian, a biology teacher and former musician who hails from Italy. By all accounts, it was an ordinary evening. Then, Tommaso drove Nancy home. Annie stayed behind. That drive, that ordinary, unremarkable drive, appears to be the last confirmed contact anyone had with Nancy Guthrie. The next morning, when Nancy didn't show up to watch a live-streamed church service at a friend's home, alarm bells started ringing. They called it in. Authorities launched a search. And 3 weeks later, they still had nothing. No concrete leads, no witnesses, no answers.
We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home.
Here's where it gets murky. Depending on which outlet you read, the story about who last saw her shifts. U.S. Weekly reported it was Annie. The New York Times, citing Pima County Sheriff directly, named Tommaso as the last person to see her alive. Sheriff Chris Nanos confirmed Annie stayed home, Tommaso drove Nancy back, and after that, the trail goes cold.
At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
Tommaso Sion reportedly went quiet in the days following that revelation, reportedly staying with Annie and the Guthrie siblings at a gated property away from the press. But investigators searched his home and ruled him out as a suspect. He was cleared. So if it wasn't foul play from someone close to her, what happened to an 84-year-old woman in the middle of Tucson? Nobody knows. The Guthrie family responded the only way they know how, together and loudly. They announced a $1 million family reward for any information leading to Nancy. On top of that, they pledged an additional $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The FBI stepped in with its own $100,000 reward. That's over $1.6 million on the table, and still, no one has come forward.
It is never too late to do the right thing.
Savannah took to Instagram in late February with a video that was hard to watch. Voice steady, eyes full of everything she wasn't saying, she spoke directly to her mom. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe she can come home. Then a beat. But we also know she may be lost. She may already be gone. A week later, she posted again, a photo of flowers left at the scene and a caption asking the Tucson community, the nation, and anyone watching not to stop hoping. Please don't stop praying with us. Bring her home. The Guthrie family has been through more than most people realize. A father taken too soon, a mother who held everything together, 3 kids who built extraordinary lives out of an early heartbreak. And now, this. Nancy Guthrie is still missing. The investigation is ongoing, and somewhere out there, the answer to what happened to her is waiting to be found. What do you think happened? Is there more to this story than we know? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this story moved you, share it, because sometimes the right person sees the right video at the right moment. Bring her home. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below.